Mayor Mapp, good to see you, sir.
It's good to see you as well.
Thank you. So, we're in Atlantic City, and I wanted to ask you about the developing gubernatorial contest, specifically your connectivity, because you're on the ballot. So, are you playing a role at all? Is Plainfield involved?
Well, certainly Plainfield is involved, and it is our goal to make sure that we turn out the votes in Plainfield for Mikey Sherrill and all of the candidates on the Democratic line. It is important because this is going to be a very close election. And so as the chair of our local Plainfield Democratic Party, my goal is to make sure that we get 50+% turnout for Mikey Sherrill. It is that important. We cannot afford to have anyone other than Mikey Sherrill in the governor's office in South.
What are the issues that she's talking about that are connecting with you and your supporters?
Well, I think there are a number of issues that have to be addressed. And I believe that Mikey Sherrill is best capable of addressing those issues. For example, the housing crisis that we face in New Jersey, where the Republican opponent has indicated in one of his ads that he wants to create a moratorium on housing in the suburbs. And the fact that we are over 220 units of affordable housing short, I believe that that is something that will resonate with voters across the state, especially in urban centers, because we need to address the issue of housing affordability in the state of New Jersey, and we can't continue to push all of the housing in urban centers where there will be a concentration of crime and other negative activity in urban areas. And so because of the availability of land in suburbia, because of these abandoned commercial office sites, something needs to be done. And I am hoping that Mikey Sherrill will use that as a tool to get her over the line. Not only that, but education. New Jersey continues to be one of the most segregated states in the nation when it comes to education. And there are these artificial boundaries, these impenetrable walls that exist around municipalities where segregation in schools continue to be a problem, in spite of Brown versus Board Education decision of 1954, where you see only blacks and Latinos are going to many of the school districts around the nation. And so we need to truly integrate our educational system as well as fund it appropriately. And so you mentioned that one of the issues that Jack might be looking to do is to get rid of the former Abbott district funding formula. And that would be disastrous for cities like Plainfield that rely so much on funding based on that formula.
Mayor, voter turnout in these general elections in urban areas in New Jersey has been down lately. Do you think this is an election where Mikey Sherrill can truly connect with the voters of Plainfield, especially with you on the ballot running for re-election?
I believe she has to. It is extremely important because this is going to be a very tight race. And so I believe that Mikey Sherrill will be able to get us out to the polls. In Plainfield, I believe Raz got over 10,000 votes. We have over 24,000 registered voters in Plainfield. And so my goal, not only as a candidate on the ballot with Mikey Sherrill, but as the leader of our local party, is to get our people out to vote. There's going to be a session at Kean University this coming Thursday, Black Men Vote. And I think that's going to be very important.
Dale Colwell is a speaker at that event, I noticed.
Absolutely. And so I think that's an opportunity for Dale and for Mikey to appeal to black men in particular, because there is too much of a shift of young black men going over to the Republican side, as well as a number of unaffiliated voters and independents. So I think that it's important for Mikey Sherrill to create a message that will appeal to the unaffiliated, the independents, and young black men in particular, as well as those Latinos who shifted over to Donald Trump last year. So this is an opportunity, and I think she can rise to the occasion.
Mayor, last question if I could. What are the issues that you're running on that you want to remind your supporters and those voters in Plainfield of as you go before the voters in Plainfield again?
I think it's important for me personally to continue to talk about the need for housing. It's important for me to continue to talk about public safety, about infrastructure and the resources that are needed to shore up our infrastructure, especially in the wake of the two recent weather events that devastated Plainfield back in July. So as I go knocking on doors, I'm going to be appealing to our residents on the basis of the importance of creating opportunities, the importance of developing the trades to provide opportunities to our young people as well as our older active adults. And so the trades, housing, recreation, infrastructure, these are some of the many issues that I'll be talking about. And I believe that those are some of the issues that we're going to have to make sure that Mikey Sherrill and Dale Caldwell speak about as they go across urban centers in the state of New Jersey. But also, I believe that Mikey Sherrill has to speak to some of the very important issues. And she doesn't have to convince me. I know where I stand. I'll be supporting Mikey Sherrill. But they have got to be important information in terms of policy that she speaks to in order to convince those independents, those people that are on the fence. She needs to give them a reason to vote for her. And I think that she will do that, especially as we ramp up in these last 8 weeks or so of the campaign.